Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hey, everyone. Good morning to you. Good morning to everyone. Hey, Ron, Yolanda.
Good morning.
Hey, everybody. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful that we survived the weekend. Good morning to everyone in the Zoom room and those who are coming on, those who are on our social media page. I'm so grateful for you. Yes. We have a great session today lined up for you. Have a great session as you come on. I would that you hit that share button. I am so again grateful for your presence and for your participation. It speaks volumes. I do know for certain that over the last 7 to 8 years, we've become more and more clinical in our approach to everything. And it's been more apparent and evident within the last 4 years of my life and bringing everything together that I've learned, that I lived through, wrong choices, bad choices, good, bad, ugly, different, indifferent, regardless of what it is. And then the culmination of both the spirit and the natural is so important to this particular platform, this particular time spent after a Sunday high experience in a building with people, or watching online in the privacy of your own home, or re-airing or re-watching something spiritual as far as what we call church. And again, church is not a building. It is you, the individual that make up with other believers, but you are an individual church building. So everywhere you go, the church goes. So as you prepare your day, it's the church preparing the day. So don't forget that. All right. Jariva, so how are you? You made it on. I'm so glad that you made it on. You made my day, made my morning already. We're going to give it some more time. Last week we were off, and the week before that we were off. Our sleeping was off, so I had such a busy last 3 weeks. So we are recalibrating so that people can catch up. Thank you for those who are on our social media page, on the YouTube channel, live, as well as our social media page. Um, um, and so I'm just excited for what we're going to talk about. This is a time because I firmly believe that the building that we go into on a Sunday morning, or for a conference, or for a revival, whatever it may be, is necessary for people to come together and praise and to worship and to get strategy and to get release and relief. However, your biggest challenge as an individual person is when we leave those environments, when we leave work, when we leave our spouses, or just sitting with ourselves. So this particular platform gives you, the individual person, clarity on how to deal with you, how to manage you, how to not run, how to not deflect, project, blame, run, or hide, but how to sit in the uncomfortable place concerning you. Your peace is everything to you. Your strength is everything to you. I'm talking to men and women alike who has multiple roles that you play, that people are dependent upon. You are not only a woman or a husband or wife, I mean, a woman or a man. Let me just deal with the foundational parts. Not only are you a woman or you're a man, whichever sexual orientation you are, but you also may be a wife and a husband, a mother and a father. Those are separate roles. A sister, a daughter, a son, a brother, a manager at work, supervisor, whatever it may be. You have so many other roles that are dependent upon your presence, your knowledge, your ability to perform, your ability to provide. And many times you get lost, you get forgotten. You don't know how to manage you or how to or how to find you again. And so that's why we're here. And so we're talking about managing. In today's session, we're going to be dealing with and talking about how to choose solitude or peace over chaos. Hey, Anasia, blessings to you. I would that as you come on, please hit that share button. It is so vitally important. I tell you, this is about you helping friends, helping other people. This is a safe space. And so we are not here to ridicule, to judge, to try to hide, blame, or deflect. However, our purpose from mental hellness to wellness is so targeted and it's so needful, and how to manage both the spirit and the natural, right? The mind of Christ as well as our own mind and what the realities look like to us. And so we want to go into this soberly, right? So I bring years and years of experience, years and years of making wrong choices, but righting my wrong and being at peace and relocating me. And this is why we're here. This is not about your wife or your husband, your son or your daughter, your brother or your sister. If you're here to gather information, stones, and knives to go after somebody, if you're here to say, well, the preacher said it and Will Marshall said, and I believe him. No, we're not dealing with none of that. We're not giving you any tools to go after anybody else but yourself, but you to find, rediscover, you to look upon you, because the longest relationship you're ever going to have. And they say, you know where I'm going, Ron, you know where I'm going. Yolanda, you know where I'm going. The longest relationship that you're ever going to have is with yourself. You. This is the longest relationship you're ever going to have is with you. All right. And so let's by that being the case, let's delve in today. So what is solitude over chaos? What does that look like? What does solitude over chaos, what does that look like? What does your peace look like to you? We often lead with this and we talk about this quite often, Ron. What does your solitude look like? Many times we can't move. We can't move because we're stuck on what did not happen, what who did not come through for us, and all that we've done for others. There are times we can get stuck in our own pain, in our own choices. We can get stuck in our own way. Now, let me redefine that so that you have a clearer understanding on what that looks like. You cannot make someone else respond like you. And many times that is a challenge for many people. That is a challenge for the giver. That is a challenge for that man, that woman who want identical reciprocation, and that's a challenge that really brings you back to a place of disappointment, brings you back to a place of sometimes depression. And you, nothing and no one on this earth is identical. Even when I studied real estate and I was going for my real estate licenses, which I'm going to get. It's something I was just doing on the side, but I'm going to bring closure to that. I've learned that no two pieces of parcel are the same. Not one, not no. They have their own uniqueness, and I say that to say that you have your own uniqueness at your process, at how you move, how you think, how you assess, how you handle, how you respond, and so does the people around you. Now, um, we want to talk and focus today on you recognizing your solitude and your peace over chaos, and why being a loner or getting to know you in this new season of your life. You are in a new season. Not only are we in a new season in the natural, we just came from a summer season into a fall season. And within a few months, this fall season is going to shift and change to a winter season. And then we know what's next. a spring season. So even in God, even in the natural with the elements and with as the earth remains, how things continue to shift. But many times we don't know how to shift. We don't know how to date this new person that we are. You have survived a whole lot. You have survived so many different things. So many times when I say date, I mean update, right? The updating is a continual thing. And sometimes the updating can be challenging. Hey, Marshana, what's up, sis? Sometimes the updating of yourself can be challenging because it can be overwhelming because now learning this new you is so vital. It is so vital. And so giving yourself the grace to learn the new you, this new person that you've become, what you survived. Anytime you come out of major storms, major dilemma, major problems, there has to be an assessment because it altered something, it changed something. Whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, storms really change. If you look at it in the natural, if we've survived hurricanes and tornadoes and major storms, there are some trees that were uprooted, some power lines that went down, there some outages that happened, and so storms and problems and situations in your life, they alter you. They really do. And many times we don't know how to deal with the aftermath. We don't know how to approach and manage what's left, how the relationship altered you, how the betrayal altered you, how the lie altered you, how the abandonment altered you, how the rejection altered you. And I don't want to put doom and gloom on this. My whole purpose of today is for you to learn how to be comfortable with being alone and processing you and managing you, the benefits of peace versus chaos, the benefits of your inner peace versus chaos that's going on around you, and how vital it is in protecting that, and how you're going to look and how it's going to feel. Because when you change and take back power, it alters people who were used to your consistency. It alters Geneva, Javia, it alters who you are. It alters, Marshana, it alters people who were used to you just showing up and being who you are. So many times, people who are consistently consistent with being kind, being generous, being there for everyone else, many times people who are consistently consistent are taken for granted. They are taken for granted. And I'm talking to people not by happenstance, not by chance, that have been legitimately taken advantage of because of your consistency. Oh, my sis got it. She got it. He got it. They'll got it. They'll pick up the slack. I know they'll watch the kids. I know they'll give me a ride. I know. And many times, people who are consistently nice and that's who you are, there is a mishandling. There is a sense of entitlement that grow on people. And many times the people who are consistently nice and consistently consistent are burnt out, exhausted, and there's nothing reciprocating back to you from the people who come and take from you. So let's hit pause and now redefine you. This is how you're going to save you. This is not you being narcissistic. This is not you being selfish. This is you recognizing the power of solitude, the power of your peace versus the chaos. Now, your chaos does not necessarily have to be reckless and loud, but the chaos many times is that you can be frustrated and angry and disappointed because who you're expecting to give back or to give back to you don't know or don't know how or don't even realize. So what do? You pause and you make your moment about your moment. You make your alone time about your alone time. Because when you do this, watch this, there's several things that's going to take place. When you make this about you, when you be comfortable with updating and getting to know this person that you have become, what you've survived, Ron, what you lived through. That is important. Now let's reassessing. This is what we do. This is what you, at the same time, may not have learned to do, may not know to do, but this is a new beginning. Yes, this is a new day, and here it is, October the 6th. Here it is at 6:15 a.m. Mark this, journal it, because a new change is coming. You are going to reassess. It's all right. I don't care if you have to reassess every day. Reassess. What does reassessing look like? It means that let me see where I'm at today, how I'm feeling today. What do I feel like today? What are my goals today? What who is relying upon me? What do I have to manage today? Because many times we can give ourselves to persons, places, and things that have not earned us. I can't say it enough. Many times we can give ourselves to persons, places, and things who mishandle, have not earned our trust, have not earned what we give, have not earned, don't deserve it. It's challenging to say this now, but it's true. And this is where the breakdown and the frustration comes, and herein lies where the frustration comes and ourselves. So how does it look with being whole? When you are being whole and you're good with being alone. Now, there's a difference between being alone and isolated versus I'm just cutting everybody off. We're not talking about that. We are not given the license or the prudence for you to say, let me just get away from everybody. No, because that's not what it is, right? When you are secure with yourself, one of the main goals, the first goal is for you to understand the power of wholeness. And when you know the power of wholeness, and as you are evolved to wholeness, watch this, it becomes internal. It becomes internal. Your peace is important to you. Your peace is important. So you become then selective with who you allow in your circle, who have clearances to come into your world. Your peace means the world to you, right? And when you start valuing your peace, you can then locate or have a sense of who's chaotic, who's going to bring you. You can start screening your phone calls. So you see somebody who you know is challenging, you can look at, okay, do I want to have this conversation today? Do I want to deal with the energy or the spirit that they bring? Do I want to? You can screen, you can value your call, you can value your peace, your happiness, right? And because you are selective with who you allow in, and everyone. And watch this. So what happens now is now you begin to spring clean, fall clean. You begin to drop off. Let me recompartmentalize this. Let me see, because this is not about them, because they don't make you about them and their space. You got to remember that. These are tough, really, really cookies to crumble, cookies to eat, things, tough things to digest. You may be with your husband or your wife, and many times they're not in the mental or the mature mental place to understand this about you. And guess what? It's okay, because this is not about you altering them or making them. This is about your isolation. Watch this. Very simple metaphor. I can't breathe for you. You can't breathe for me. Simple but profound. You can't breathe for your son and daughter. They can't breathe for you. You can't breathe for your siblings or your mother or your father, and they can't breathe for you. I'm talking about breathing. And you didn't feel that, what I just did. This is about your peace. And as you begin to take control, take you back, it's going to make some people uncomfortable. Go through it. They're going to be all right. Trust me, they will be a-okay. And so your wholeness does not depend on people, persons, places, or thing. Your wholeness has to come internally. And so this is a process. For some, this is new. Some you're being reminded of. Okay, This is about you. I love using the analogy. I love using the analogy, Ron, of when we fly. I use this all the time, and I speak about this all the time. Whenever you get on an airplane, regardless of if it's JetBlue airline or American airline, regardless of what airline it is, Frontier or whoever, Spirit, whatever airline, that steward or stewardess, they're going to take a moment before they take off to give you safety precautions. In the event that the cabin loses pressure, they'll tell you that an oxygen mask is going to fall down. And the first thing they'll tell you is place the mask on yourself first. If you have children around you or elderly around you, I get it. They make emphasis on you. If you're coming on, hit that share button. I'd so appreciate it. They make emphasis on you placing the mask on yourself first, right? And one of the reasons why is because they know the power of you having control over you. Many times we can put masks over the little child. Oh, I'm gonna save my baby. I'm gonna save my niece, my nephew, my son, my daughter. I'm gonna save them. Now the child is a-okay, and you passed out. Now that child don't have the mindset or the bandwidth to put the mask on you. You can share the mask, however you need to do. This is about you. This is about you breathing in and breathing out. This is about your peace. So discovering the wholeness of you and the need for solitude, the need for your internal peace is so vital. So you'll discover when you realize, watch this, your solitude versus chaos, your peace versus chaos, that wholeness matters to you. Who you allow in matters to you. Second thing is, they won't be able to control you if they threat to leave you. Whoever decides to get up and move, you're not moved by it. Whoever decided to back off of you, because there's a manipulation that go on in a relationship. Once you start taking things back and you really start valuing you, it does not matter who threatens to leave. It does not matter who tries to work the fear of abandonment, because you have a place in you where you've mastered being okay. You're mastering. Mastering meaning maturing and being alone, being by yourself, being how to process. And this is not about you cutting the world off. Please hear this. This is not about you cutting the world off, cutting people and family off. This is not about that. But there are times you can have people around you who are very manipulative, who will try to spew guilt on you, who will work that tool called guilt, that spirit called guilt, that mind called guilt. You'll make you feel away because you're no longer there, right? Yeah, right. But when you are secure within yourself, if anyone threatens you, they don't realize you've already left. Oh, you are, or you will intentionally or advertently show them the exit. Okay, if your time is up, if you feel that you can manipulate me emotionally. See, when you're secure within yourself and you're learning to be secure within yourself, you will not be or allow the manipulation, the emotional threat to change or alter you. It's so vitally important. Nine times out of ten, the person who is becoming secure with himself is okay with people who wants to exit. It's okay. It's it has nothing to do with cockiness or arrogance. It has everything to do with your peace. Maybe this was not a good season, a good moment, a good time, and it's okay, right? And so you have to. This is something that you're learning. Everything I'm talking to you about today is an evolution. It's not something that just happens. It's not something that just happens. That's internally that we're turning on and activating you being okay with peace versus chaos. Anyone who is chaotic many times, and let me just park here because there's some folk, there are times you could become or look at chaos as a norm, dysfunction as a norm because that's what you are used to being around. That's the regular norm. That's ratchetness or always quarreling and fighting and always pointing and blaming and that could be the norm. But what I sense that God is pulling you out of that norm. That can't be your norm. Your peace is the norm. How to manage you in chaotic situations or around chaotic people when things are still aren't right. How do you manage you? How the importance of being by yourself but you're not alone, right? And the importance of internally guarding and protecting your heart and your mind. This session today is about recovery. This session today is about new discovery, dating this new person, right? Learning this new person. That's what dating is. Dating is really data, gathering intel, information. That's when you date somebody, you are gathering, favorite color, favorite car, favorite food. What do you like to do? What's your favorite movie? This, that, that. You're gathering information. You dated the car before you bought it. You test drove it. You looked at all the features. You dated the apartment or the house before you moved into it or borrowed it, purchased it. You dated it. You dated your best friend. Is she crazy? He crazy? Let's see what they're. So we gather information all the time, right? Before you went on vacation, before you go on that cruise, before wherever you go, you are gathering information on where you're going. You are gathering information. What's the weather gonna be like in 2 weeks if you're leaving in 2 weeks? We're constantly gathering updates. It's ongoing all day, every day. But one of the people who we forget to gather updates on and to gather intel on and to check the temperature and the gauge on is our own selves. It's true. You may not like the person you see. And it's okay. But you can change it. I didn't say fix it. I said change. I'm very, very, very selective with words, all right? Because we're not here to fix anybody. We're not. No. We want to give you the tools to help you see you. Um, now, I want to park here again and add to this. Every single thing that I'm teaching, I lived through. I had to change William. William was a wreck. William was a mess. William was selfish. William was a projecting man. I projected, I blamed, I hid, I I mm, I pointed fingers. I did all those things, and I did not know how to deal with me until I learned the power of self-confrontation. I learned. So everything I'm teaching this from a space of grace, right? This is not arrogance. And I hid behind the anointing on my life. I hid behind my charisma. I hid behind charm and laughter. I hid behind all that stuff. And it was an insecure, deflective, projecting, blaming, running, hiding man as a man, as a husband, as a father, as a preacher, as a bishop, as a all those hats, camouflage, all aesthetics. But I had to learn to sit and deal with William. And this is something that hot top 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 didn't teach me. Because we'll run and shout and dance over all that. That's what I learned. That's what I did. That was my norm. Overrated. I still don't get me wrong. I still prophesy, I still run, shout, dance, all that stuff. But I still now will help people to deal with themselves after the fanfare of a Sunday experience, after the fanfare of a conference and convocation, after the fanfare of a revival, after all that. Let's deal with me, the individual person. All right. So this is vitally important. This is something that's not dealt with on a Sunday morning. Self-confrontation, self-love, being okay with yourself. Now, we need people. We're not talking about you leaving your wife or your husband, you're disconnecting from your brother, your sister. No, none of those. That's not what this session is speaking to. This is about you becoming so comfortable with you responding to you understanding you. When no one else does, you do. When no one else will, you will, right? So when you are comfortable, number one, let's go over this again. Number one, your wholeness does not depend on people. You becoming your peace does not depend on people, right? Number two, you can't be controlled if somebody decide to leave. You can't be manipulated, right? When you are comfortable with you, it doesn't matter, right? And many times, if they brought the wrong energy, you already dismissed them. Do you not know you can drop somebody off and they don't know you dropped them off? You really can, because your cordial your cordial way does not have to change. If you know somebody has toxic and chaotic traits, that's good. If you know it doesn't match your space, your energy, what you have worked hard at becoming, you can still work around them. Still know them. But you are guarded. Your heart and mind is guarded. They can't get in. You can still be around them. Let them be ratchet. Let them be stank. Let them be who they are. This is about you controlling you. You have a thermometer and you have a thermostat. This 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 is not about you controlling the atmosphere, who's around you. This is about you being the thermometer, you controlling you. The thermometer is for you, the individual person. The thermostat controls the atmosphere, and that's wonderful if you can. But if you can't, you can control you. This is about you controlling you. So you're not manipulative, right? And now, when you are whole and you are becoming whole, let's say that, as you become, as you evolve into the new you, as you date the new you begin to realize that anyone that comes into your life is because you want them there. You vetted them. You see value in them. It's a privilege for you to allow them in. Now, if you go in certain parts of, if you work in any type of office environment, any type of building, for instance, I work in the hospital at Yale, and my badge gets me into certain doors, but then there's some doors that I don't have clearances on. I don't have access to. And I say that to say, because you allowing somebody into your space, into your it should be counted as a privilege. They may not count it as a privilege, but you know that I'm allowing them in because I see the value. All right. Their opinion matters. Their view matters. Who they are matters. However, if they decide to leave, you're good with that. But I'm just talking about when people listen, you want to grow to the point where when people know that if they're close to you, that's big, because you don't let everybody in. But everybody needs accountability. You do, I do, we do. Whoever's in my world and my circle is because I value them. Whoever have access to me, immediate access to me, is because I value them. They know, right? And not that I'm this big shot, but I'm talking about you vetting out and securing who's in your circle. They need to know that you value their friendship, you value their confidentiality, you value their worth, right? So when you now watch this, and they too will know that. They too will know that you value them, right? For you to allow them in, make no mistake. You don't necessarily need them there, but if you allow them in, it's because you value, you're secure with them. You realize that they're not competition with you. The worst thing you can have in your circle, the worst thing you can have in your immediate circle is somebody who's competitive. Uh, Somebody who's competitive with you, someone who secretly is jealous of you. That is the worst. Someone who covets what you do. And many times, watch this, I'm about to say something that's really, really, really challenging for some. Many times, the biggest obstacles and challenges that you're facing is people who are close to you, people who celebrate everybody else but won't celebrate you, people who applaud and clap everyone else about everyone on social media, whatever it may be. Social media is a telltale sign in many cases. Even you'll see people who are applauding for everybody else but won't applaud for you. That's big. That it's not by chance that that happens. It's a reality. You know, there's some people who are close to you, and many times we value blood. Just because somebody is blood related to you does not mean that they're loyal to you or committed to you. It doesn't mean that. It that's not, blood don't speak to that. I know that's tough for some people, but it's a truth and it's a hard reality. And everybody in your bloodline does not deserve or can handle your nakedness or getting that close to you. They must know that if you allow them in your space, they have to know this, that you value them. That's important. That's important, right? They must see the fact that you value them being connected to you and you being connected to them, right? The fourth thing that I want to talk about that helps and secures someone who is becoming whole or starting this new journey of becoming whole is that losses doesn't shake you. At any level of a loss, any level of somebody again threatening to leave, or whatever goes on in your life that's almost detrimental, right? It doesn't shake you because the process is different. The response is different. That's what I mean when I say process. It doesn't matter what it is or who it is, you respond differently. Now, in times past, we really talked about the power of assessment before you go in, before you go off, before you give, I mean, you slay the person. James, I believe James or Peter writes, let every person, this is powerful, let every person be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to go off, slow to wrath. Quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to go off. And many times we, as a people that's unbridled, that's unchaste, that's undisciplined, will speak on something before we get all the information, before we assess it. Assessment, we did weeks of talking about assessments in this session, in these sessions, the power and the purpose of assessing. That means assessing deals with gathering all of the facts. You got to bring everything in. You got to consider the source, right? That's a part of their assessment. You got to consider the two that's arguing. What is her personality like? What is her personality like? How they, you have to assess. And then that also, then that means you're gathering all the facts, because many times when some folk bring you facts, they don't bring you how the actual fact took place, right? If you have sons and daughters, if you are a sibling of any, if you have sibling rivalries, whatever it may be, the one sister or brother or cousin or son or daughter will come and tell you what the other child did to them, but they won't tell you what they did. They'll tell you what someone said to them about them, but they don't tell you the other part of what they did, how they did. So now, if you don't gather all of that, if you do not gather all the fact finding before you put your mouth on it, you can legitimately speak out of turn, think out of turn. I'm big on assessment. Before I run into somebody and see this situation, what goes on, and because I don't have all the intel of why they did what they did, what happened in their life, what happened in their background, what is their story, I've learned to shut up and keep my mouth off of people, persons, and places and things that I don't know the full story of. I recently had somebody ask me, "You think he gay? You think she gay? You think this person gay?" And I'm like, I asked them, I said, "Why are you so interested in their sexual choice? You interested? I was really serious. I wanted to know because at one point in time, I hung out in conversations like that. But as I evolved, I'm like, oh God, what? I don't know. Ask him. I ask that person if you want to know. If you're that bold and that insecure, that into what somebody else is into, go and ask them. If you're that curious, just go and have the conversation because my space does no longer consist of that. Not that I'm better than the person who's asking me that. No, it's a choice. People know where to bring garbage. They know where to bring gossip. They know where to bring slander. They know where. And so it's important for you to be that vessel, that person of wholeness that a loss doesn't affect you. A loss of, because you might be shook. It may shake you. However, your process with loss is different. You'll find your way back, right? And part of assessment, watch this, is looking at it from a panoramic view. We talk about this a lot, Ron, about I want to look at every angle, every angle that's in this, that what all the facts that I want to look at everything, not just one sided, not just their sided. I want to look at every side. So even when you're talking to your spouse, when you're talking to your sibling, you are giving them the grace to hear what they're saying. It is an uncomfortable place at times, but just to understand where they're coming from. You may not agree. They may be in La La Land. They may be on Mars with their view, their perspective, their opinion, their thought processes, but it's theirs and not yours. It's yours and it's not theirs. So a loss is different from those who are becoming whole. Your loss is a different. Your peace. You learn to accept the realities of what it is. Now, acceptance is one of the final stages of any level of grief. When you accept, right? Okay, this is not going to change. She, he, they, this is not going to change. Or I can't stick around to wait for their change. When they change, if they evolve, fine. If they don't, fine. But sometimes we can stay in a situation in hopes that they're going to change, and they don't readily change, or they don't change at all. This doesn't mean cut them off. This doesn't mean divorce. This doesn't mean separation. It just means that you are adjusting you. It's not about fixing them. This is about you bringing moderate adjustments to you. This is about you and your peace. All right. So number 5, this is a good one here. Your strength has been built in silence. Silence is important to you. When you are learning to become whole within yourself, you'll find that silence is vitally important to you. Your peace, right? Um, oh God, which because finding a space throughout the hour, throughout the day of just complete shutting out the noise is so vitally important to you. However that looks to you, that's how it looks to you. That's however it is. Everybody has different coping mechanisms, different things they use to cope. Um, Medication is one. Self medication is one. I do believe in the balance of medication. I do. I do. I've grown to that because growing up in a Pentecostal holiness, speaking in tongues environment, if you use any type of mind altering, anything like that, you are going to hell. And I don't believe that at all. I believe that the prescribed medication is necessary for that season or that moment to help with getting or regaining your composure. I do. I ascribe to it. People who feel differently, okay, we can talk about that. We had a whole session on that, right? Because again, what we don't understand, we have the tendency to be against. And there are times a clinical psychiatrist, clinical therapist is there to help referee, to help bring solace and peace and understanding and clarity to what where you are in that moment. So I do believe that people often tell me, men in particular, I hear men saying all the time when I'm counseling husbands and wives, and I hear men saying all the time, "Well, I don't need counseling. I don't need this and I don't need that." Well, you don't need a mechanic then for your car. You fix your own car. Well, you don't need a dentist. You do your own extraction of your teeth. You don't need an ophthalmologist. You fix your own eyes. You don't need a barber. You blend your own self. I don't need a therapist. I can do it by myself. Everyone needs a level of accountability, right? And that's what a therapist, he or she does. They bring some sort of accountability to you, helping you to see you. But again, because when you're by yourself, you lie to yourself. But when you are becoming whole, um, you think differently. Strength has been your silence. Your silence is a good space in the day, sometimes in the hour, to just clear your thoughts. What silence look like to you is when the whole house is asleep, you get up early in the morning or you go to bed late. You that hour, that half hour, that just to clear your mind, just to clear your thoughts, just to recalibrate, realign. That is important to you, right? Because um, you're built differently. You've gone through struggles already, and see when you value silence, it's harder to break you because you're not speaking to everything. Everything don't deserve your response. Sometimes that one response, that need to get the last word in, brings so much chaos. That need to be right. That need. That's something you have to silence. You have to bring on. You have to bring under because sometimes that last word can destroy so much. I had to learn that. I had to learn that that last word that need to be heard, that need to be, you can do so much interior and structural damage to the relationship, to your son, to your daughter, your relationship to a coworker, your relationship to your significant other, that need to be right, that need to be heard, that biting your tongue can help you in so many ways. It can help you. I'll never forget one day I was eating some Jamaican food, and that palmetto seed, that little pepper. I didn't know what it was. It was a hot summer day. My AC wasn't working in the car. Everything that could went wrong, Marshana, was going wrong that day. Was going wrong in that moment. Ron, it was going wrong. It was a hot day. I'll never forget. I'm sitting out in front of Howells on Main Street. Woo! And I bit into that thing. I didn't know what it was. I just bit. My whole face blew up. I'm in a hot car. The AC's not working. I bit into that little seed. Why the only thing I had to cool me off in my car was a Coca-Cola. And my dumb self in a hot car ate a hot pepper ball, whatever it was, a spice. My whole face is blowing up. I'm sweating. And I tried to relieve myself with Coca-Cola. It made it worse. Fuego, flame on. It was the worst experience. I'll never forget that moment, what I did. Oh my gosh. So I learned that if I knew that, I would have spit it out. If I knew what type of damage and what was going to do to me internally or to the relationship, if I want to internally, I would have spit it out. So there's some words you have to just spit out before you get ready to say it. There's some things you have to look at the end. If I say this, it's going to trigger this, that. And it's going to bring me back to, it's going to bring us the relationship back 5, 6, 7 steps. And then when you look at it, after you value your silence, and sometimes you have to, not just sometimes, many times you have to silence your nonverbal cues. Yes, your facial expressions, your body language. You got to bring discipline to that. Your body language speaks. Your energy speaks through your body. Say a lot without saying a word. You can project a lot without saying a word. You can deflect without saying a word. Bishop, I feel like that's not me. That's not my authentic self. I'm just gonna be who I am. Keep being who you are. You're gonna keep going through those cycles too. Go ahead. How's that been working out for you? This is about self-control. This is not you controlling the other person. This is about you controlling you. Your peace. You bit your tongue. You decided not to. You could have said, it could have been a good segue. But some people are not in the position, especially when you're arguing, especially when you're already heated. Words matter. Words matter. You can speak your truth at the wrong time and it sets things back. Those are real things. So, but when you value yourself, silence is big to you. Your strength is built on silence. Now let's take that further. Silence gives you the ability, number six, it gives you the ability to reset, right? Your time alone gives you the ability to bring clarity and to reassess, recess. Woo! You come back wiser and stronger. You can see it differently when you step back from it. And the challenge in many cases with people, Ron, the challenge is, Yolanda, is owning your part. Eh, It was hard for me to learn how to own me. Oh, because my nature was to deflect, run, blame, hide, project. This is a challenge with every one of us. Owning our stuff, owning our shortcomings, sitting in the sucky place that we are. You know what that looks like? That looks like not playing the victim. That's what that looks like. I'm not playing the victim, right? So number six is your silence gives you the ability to reset, recalibrate, refocus. It's a powerful session. It's powerful, right? And then the final point that I have two more. Number seven, as you are evolving into wholeness, you move with patience. You move with patience because you've realized that being alone is not a weakness. Getting to yourself and recalibrating, reassessing is not a weakness. It shows you not to rush into situation. It shows you not to rush judgment. That's what it shows you, right? It shows you to be sober. It brings a level of sobriety to you, mentally, emotionally. Nothing. Your emotions can have you drunk, have you inebriated, have you high, have you all out of control. So different than alcohol, drugs, cocaine, crack. It's no. I'm using those habituants as metaphors. It's no different. You can be drunk with anger, drunk with rage, drunk with revenge, drunk under the influence of it, drunk with jealousy, drunk with stubbornness, drunk with bitterness, drunk under the influence. But when you move with patience, it brings another level of sobriety to you. It brings another level of wholeness, right? When you don't rush, right? It's so powerful. And these are steps, right? These are steps. And the eighth and final thing that I want to reiterate on and really cause you to see, you're not afraid of new beginnings. This is so important. New beginnings, you're not afraid of change. You're not afraid of starting again. Hmm. Matter of fact, it's not even you fearful, it becomes more exciting. So learning this new you, this new beginnings today, October 6th, there's such a shift in the atmosphere. There's such a shift in the realm of the spirit. There's a shift going on. where I sense that God has new portals, new opportunities, new doors, new beginnings, a new you, a new discovery that's here, that's in this space and time for us who will tap in and lean into it, right? One thing that's constant in life is change. Change is inevitable, right? It's inevitable, but if we don't lean into the change, when you are becoming whole, you're not afraid of new beginnings. You're not afraid of new discoveries. You're not. It's you've learned to embrace it. And for some, this is new. This new place, this new space where you are. Some who are listening, you've never heard it broken down in this light, in this fashion, and rediscovering you, redating you. You're not the same woman you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. You're not the same man you were 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years ago. You're not the same husband or wife you were when you first got married. Things evolve, things change. You're not the same mother you were, father you were 5 years ago. You've learned some stuff. You've graduated. You've huh? And so getting to know this new you after all that you've endured, all that you've come to, getting to come to reckoning with this new person of what the storms and the seasons have allowed you to live through, what God has allowed you to live through, getting to know this person, so vitally important. What does she look like? What does he look like? What? That's important. Dating you, journaling, writing it down, however it is vitally important. I could pull a text out and start preaching from, the Beatitudes, the Gospels. I can preach Paul. I can preach Silas. I can preach Peter, James, John. I can preach all that. This is about you. This is about you discovering you taking back power, you taking back power, you taking back authority, right? You and even dealing with that OCD part of you where you can't shut your mind up, can't shut your thought up. You overthink. OCDs is not just talking to people who just gotta wash consistently, gotta keep the house clean, and gotta keep your hands clean. OCD is when somebody can't shut their brain down. When you are committed to overthinking. When you need when you need uh, overly examining things. Overly. That's something that we can discuss again. We've dealt with all that. We've really, really, really dealt with that. And so there's signs that speaks to OCDs. I'm not a licensed clinician. However, I am licensed in life and living. And so identifying there's so many good things that we are to talk about and that we're going to help you and break down so that we can see ourselves and become the change that we need. We're not waiting on anybody to help with our change. We're not. You are your own first responder. We're gonna learn to respond to our own individual selves. All right. Listen, we're at a close and at the end of this session. I'm grateful for those who have weathered through. I'm grateful for those who are committed to meeting us here on Monday mornings and Wednesday mornings. I'll be back on tonight in our podcast from 7 to 8, 7:47 to 7:55, and my podcast, the Unpack Podcast. We got some fun, got a fun agenda tonight. I'll be same time, same place, also in our YouTube channel. You can go back and revisit this if you need to revisit this. You can find us on our YouTube channel. Just type in my name, William Joe Marshall. You'll find it. All right. We have past lessons, past sessions, and on our YouTube channel. Please like and describe and subscribe rather for help me push this agenda. Mental health is such a real issue in our community, in our church. And I'm not going to put I'm anointed and I'm saved, sanctified over my mental health. That's all wonderful. That's good. But let's deal with the real issues. the crises that's going on in our family and our bloodline. All right, so we want to deal with that. Also, starting next week on the 12th, we are going on a 21-day fast and prayer and fasting season, and we want you to join us with that. Also, if you are led to sow into this session, this time, whatever your seed or contribution is, it would be so appreciative. We do realize that this clinical time, if you were at a therapist, if you were at a counselors, they would want a copay or you to pay or whatever it may be. And I'm not asking for or begging for money, but if you're led to sow, please make that happen. The Marsh Group, I'll type it in. If you are led to give in any level of contribution or seed, that you feel that this has been beneficial and helpful for you in the days, weeks, times past, and even to come, feel free to sow, right, and to give. That would be so appreciative. And this is not for me needing money. This is for you to know the value of what you're receiving. Amen. I do know the value of what I give. I do know. Right, I do really know that, and I say that with all confidence and with all assuredness. All right, listen, you're going to have a great day today. It's going to be a great week. As a person thinketh in their heart, so are they. That's what Solomon writes. So your heart has to be guarded, right? Get your heart healthy. Not as a man or woman thinketh in their mind. No, as the heart. Your heart has to be guarded. Paul says it best: be anxious for nothing, but in everything with prayer, supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, so guard your heart and your mind. Where your treasure is, that's where your heart will be also. That's what Jesus speaks to in Matthew 6. We want you to have a healthy heart, naturally and in the spirit. All right. Have an amazing day. Be that amazing person you are. Don't be afraid of being alone. So it's your solitude and peace versus chaos. Guard you. Please guard you. God's got you. Love you. Be well. See you tonight.